Welcome to another episode of Beneath the Surface Gems. We wrap up our conversation on living a purposeful life with author and politician Krystal Tomlinson. This week's gem looks at self-compassion. Let's dive in. Hello everyone, I'm Kadene Chambers and welcome to Beneath the Surface Gems. We continue our conversation with Krystal Tomlinson this week, and we have been talking about living a purposeful life through killing fear. Just reminding you, Krystal wears so many hats, including author, mother, politician. And so, she's versed on being able to speak to us about this topic. This week, Krystal, let us now talk about the importance of self-compassion. Why is self-compassion important, and what does it look like for you?
The best analogy I can think of is experiencing some kind of failure and going to who should be your best friend, telling them about the failure, and instead of them propping you up and energizing you, they go, yes, it's true, you were really a bad fit. That's definitely right. Biggest mistake you've ever made. Don't know why you thought you were capable and competent. If we had a friend like that, we would stop being friends with that person. And sometimes that friend is our voice in our head. We are the person beating ourselves over the back with a broad piece of stick, telling ourselves all the reasons that we deserve the failure, versus encouraging and finding the resilience and channeling that lesson into whatever your next steps are going to be. So self-compassion for me is as if I'm going to a friend of mine. When I feel very low, and there are many times you can't put that into words and share with anybody, it's just a feeling. If you try to explain it, you sound naive, you sound silly, and it sounds frivolous, but you feel it. In those moments when you start to feel that weight, what am I saying to myself? I'm asking myself, what are these feelings? Look back at it. What caused this feeling? Because of this feeling, how do you view yourself? Why you view yourself like that? Is that the truth of who you are? Well, let's come back to the truth of who you are. What do you need to do right now to come back to that person? What do you need to say? Whether it's an apology because you did something wrong, whether you need to forgive somebody because you've been holding on to that energy and it is what is weighing you down and making you nasty and making you angry and making you a meanie when you really want to be loving. Find that compassionate action that you have to take with yourself by interrogating the feeling and loving yourself through that interrogation. And then taking the outward action, if it involves anybody on the outside, to really make amends and come to a place of peace where possible with that person. But it requires radical honesty. So you have to be brave enough to look yourself in the face and say, today I'm feeling nervous. Today I'm doubting my capacity. Today I feel as though I'm insignificant. Today I feel unworthy. I feel unprepared. I don't feel like I deserve this. I feel like somebody else deserves it. Admit it. That's how we feel. Depressed or anxious or happy or moody. But that's how we feel. Why do we feel that way? What do we think about ourselves now that we feel that way? Do you feel weak? Do you feel like a failure? Do you feel like you're letting people down? All right. So if that is how we feel, what do we do to come back to our true self? Because the true self is not failure. The true self is not somebody that is perpetually depressed. And we are allowed to have those moments of diversity. We call it emotional diversity. Sometimes you'll be at your peak, sometimes you'll have to be at your low, but you need that tension to help you go back up to the peak. So who will I be now in this season that I'm in? And how will I choose to respond to myself, even though I don't feel like I'm at my best self? How will I love me back to my best self? And the truth is, Kadene, a lot of times we were never taught how to love ourselves, how to speak lovingly to ourselves in moments of failure, because we didn't have anybody in our lives who did that. And with no examples of what to do, we have to learn through practice. So the first few times, the first few years, it might feel strange, it might feel inauthentic, but these things come with practice. And I wish every parent, anybody who has a charge over whom they can mentor and guide, that you teach those persons how to love themselves, not just when they're looking fancy and beautiful, but when they don't feel that they're at their best.
Now, viewers, I'm reminding you, all of the things that we've been speaking about this month is covered and so much more in Krystal's wonderful book. It is so useful. People, she even has work pages in here for you to complete She's helping you do the work. So she's not just telling you, you know, this is what I do to help me. She has done the work to actually help you help yourself. Krystal, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you, and we wish you all the best in all of the other things that you're about to conquer, and the changes that you are, the wonderful impact that you're having in the world. Keep doing what you're doing. Be purposeful.
Thank you so much, Kadene. It was a pleasure sharing with your community, and I hope they have pulled out the gems that are there for them. Everything won't be for everybody, but I hope you find what's there for you. Lots of love and blessings. Mwah! Thank you.
Thank you.